to this special edition of your Minuteman Report. I'm Master Sergeant Marcie Mascaro.
And I'm Master Sergeant John Anderson. Throughout the past month, Guardsmen from around the country have taken part in life-saving training, protected our major cities, and showed appreciation for the people who support them the most. But one of the key themes of Guard units throughout the month has been protecting the communities they live in. Washington Guardsmen battled wildfires in the eastern part of the state. Their helicopters helped firefighters by dropping more than 132,000 gallons of water on the blaze. Army Staff Sergeant Jason Kreis has more.
For the second time this fire season, the governor has activated the Washington National Guard to assist crews in fighting wildfires in eastern Washington. 2 helicopters from the 66th Theater Aviation Command continue to drop thousands of gallons of water on hotspots that threaten houses and communities in the Chelan and Wenatchee areas. The fire has burned nearly 34,000 acres of land so far, since being ignited earlier this month by lightning strikes during a thunderstorm. The Chinook and the Black Hawk helicopters bring a combined total of over 2,600 gallons of water per load to give crews on the ground much-needed relief from the flames.
Well, our job is to support the forest fighters that are on the fire line and put water either on the fire or to wet down areas to prevent fire from spreading in that particular direction. Our job is to assist them in corralling the fire and in some cases actually putting certain fires out.
With visibility at a minimum and 5,000 pounds of water hanging 80 feet below the aircraft, the simple act of releasing the water becomes a strenuous exercise in crew coordination.
Basically, he's our third set of eyes by proxy. And in addition to that, in terms of the water buckets concerned, we don't control the dropping of the water. Our crew chief handles that completely on his own. And so that's where it really comes into, the air crew coordination comes into play, because we're talking to the ground forces. We can see the initial target area, and then we have to hand that off verbally to our crew member in the back.
But despite these obstacles, these guardsmen view this as a great opportunity to serve their community.
My whole purpose for being in the Guard is our occasions just like this. That's why I still do what I do after 25 years, and I enjoy it today every bit as much as I did 25 years ago.
Earlier in this fire season, the same crew was activated to help with another wildfire. In that mission, the Guard helicopters dropped over 632,000 gallons of water. For the Washington National Guard, I'm Staff Sergeant Jason Kreis.
While Washington Guardsmen were teaming up with the Forest Service, medical professionals from the National Guard spent time throughout the month learning life-saving techniques in a mass casualty training exercise in Botswana. Sergeant Dan Lagrasso explains.
When battlefield injuries occur, the Combat Support Hospital, or CASH, stands ready and waiting with life-saving support. The 396th Combat Support Hospital is built around speed and flexibility, attributes they tested during a mass casualty exercise on August 14th at Southern Accord 2012, a joint exercise between the U.S. and Botswana. The CASH cared for soldier injuries big and small, while other medical professionals graded their performance under pressure.
So in the CASH, you know, the Army is remarkably well trained. They are in a great position to take care of the wounded, and I've been really impressed.
Although the environment can be chaotic at maximum capacity, the CASH provides excellent care.
Now, because most of the nurses and doctors do this on their civilian side, so when you're getting treated here, you are really getting some of the world's best medical care.
Major General Patrick Donahue, commander of U.S. Army Africa, also toured the CASH during the exercise and praised its performance. Sergeant Dan Lagrasso, Botswana.
Maine Air National Guardsmen also used this month to train. Tech Sergeant Kevin Coulter shows us how they honed their skills at building structures that are now new homes for some Navajo families.
It isn't every day that someone is given a house, but Jimmy and Vera Hosky are glad it happened to them. Their house is the 200th home to be given to Navajo families who could never afford such a luxury. It was quite a party, and after a house blessing, the house was opened up to friends and family. And the National Guard was on hand too.
There's more to just this construction than a house. It's something that somebody's going to use as a home.
You see, they built the house.
So we started this one 3 days ago, and this is how they're built. They're built up on top of here as 2 platforms, and we build them together so we can match everything up, but there's a seam right down the middle. And when they take them out, they'll back the truck up and they'll jack it up and they'll pull it right out. And when we bring it to the site, we'll match them back up again and then we bolt them together.
At the Southwest Indian Foundation in Gallup, New Mexico, there's a little factory that builds modular houses. And the builders? They're National Guardsmen and reservists who are civil engineers and need a place to learn or practice their skills. These guardsmen are from Maine.
I learned a lot of shortcuts on sheetrocking and mudding. I've never done this orange peel stuff, and we sprayed this. He let us learn how to do that.
The guardsmen call it annual training, 2 weeks of active duty, but the formal title is Innovative Readiness Training, and it saves the military millions of dollars. The building supplies are bought by the Southwest Indian Foundation, and the reservists are given a place to work.
It's a great way to come out here for the training and stuff, and basically helping Americans. That's what it's all about.
The Air Force Academy is also part of the program. In the past, cadets would build a house and then tear it down.
This was very frustrating to the cadets, and so they thought that there was a better way of doing something with the home that they constructed.
Joseph Esparza is the director of the Southwest Indian Foundation, and he tells a little bit about how it came to be.
July of 1998, we got into the business of building homes for needy Navajo families. And the reason why we're limited to just the Navajo families is because the partnership that we have is with the Navajo Housing Authority, who provides the funding for the materials that we utilize in building our homes.
So far, this house donation has happened 200 times since 1998, and more are on the way. The house is a relatively small 2-bedroom home, but it is a castle to the Huskies. When I asked them what their favorite part of the new house was, their answer was unanimous.
The running water. You're going to be able to have running water. That's our favorite. That's my favorite part of that.
Yeah, me
running
too.
water.
And a new stove and a refrigerator.
That new stove would be the coal-fired heater in the corner of this man's castle. In Gallup, New Mexico, I'm Air National Guard Tech Sergeant Kevin Coulter.
When we return, we'll show you what citizen soldiers and airmen are doing to keep one of America's busiest cities safe. Stay tuned.
Sergeant Jim Davis joined the Air National Guard for a new career in intelligence. They helped him pay for college, gave him a brand new life. Now, he works with top secret technology and helps fly unmanned aircraft 6,751 miles away. And because he's in the Air National Guard, he goes home 2.1 miles away. It's in your blood, your instincts, your gut. It's in that voice in your head that says, I could be something better, something stronger. We've been waiting for you, and you're resolved to protect this great land you love. Are you up to it? It's up to you. The Air National Guard.
The Big Apple is safer today, thanks in part to the joint efforts of the airmen and soldiers of the New York National Guard. Staff Sergeant Chris Piles has more.
Millions of commuters fill the streets of New York City on a daily basis. And ever since September 11th, airmen have protected them. Air National Guardsmen, like Staff Sergeant Greg DePass. He's a member of Task Force Empire Shield, a group charged with the duty of deterring terrorism in the Big Apple.
You deter and you detect.
Every day he suits up, loads his weapon, and works hand in hand with agency partners like the NYPD to protect his hometown from a real threat.
I was born in Brooklyn, raised in Queens. protecting this city means everything to me because I am from the city. So being that face of the United States military to a lot of people, a lot of civilians, in my own hometown, in my city, I can't express how much it means to me. It means a lot. So I really love this job and I love the opportunity. So I'm very happy to be a part of the task force.
The task force employs just short of 300 guardsmen and women, and around 30 of them are airmen.
We do have a lot of key figures in leadership, and we play a big role, even though we're a small percentage of the task force.
Their daily assignments are random, but their mission couldn't be more focused. New Yorkers protecting New York.
New York City is a melting pot, like they say. So we have all walks of life, all different flavors here. We're actually out here on a day-to-day basis with the public. So I think that's the most important aspect of the mission, just being out here with the public and showing them that the United States military is here, keeping them safe.
So next time you find yourself visiting the Big Apple, don't be surprised when you see an airman in the crowd. Staff Sergeant Chris Piles, New York, New York.
No guardsman can do what they do without the support of their friends and family, something airmen from the Idaho Air National Guard's 124th Air Support Operations Squadron is well aware of. To acknowledge this support, the unit decided to hold a Ken Appreciation Day at Sailor Creek Training Range, Idaho. Staff Sergeant Bob Barney has more.
The best way to tell someone what you do is to show them, and that's exactly what the airmen with the 124th Air Support Operations Squadron are doing here at Sailor Creek Training Range.
Forward air controllers from the Idaho Air National Guard spent the day with their loved ones who also sacrifice when their airmen are away from home.
We're showing our appreciation for our family because they're the ones that endure the most hardships when we deploy and when we come to work out here. So it's really showing them what we do and showing our appreciation and gratitude for them. So far, they love it. They're crawling all over the tanks right now. I think a couple of them are up in the tower still looking at the range.
They also get to hear the unique sound of the A-10 Thunderbolt II's 30mm cannon. This event highlights how well-trained and highly skilled these citizen airmen are as they direct Air Force assets in support of ground forces.
Reporting from Sailor Creek Training Range, I'm Air Force Staff Sergeant Bob Barney.
And that does it for this special edition of Your Minuteman Report. For these and more Guard stories, visit nationalguard.mil.
Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time.